hands up, no turning back.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Strive Tribe podcast. It's your boy, Devin Gonzalez. And today I wanted to talk about fitness related to, personal development, as well as fitness related to mental health. Now, we're all doing fitness for one reason or another, right? You're either working out because you want to lose weight, you're working out because you want to, extend your healthy life for your kids, you're working out because you just want to look sexy on the beach. Whatever the case may be, that's awesome. Keep doing it, keep going towards your goal. But I want to talk about fitness in a way of personal development and more so than just the physical aspect, right? Fitness and working out, it develops a lot of characteristics that a lot of people won't realize, at least in the beginning. And those characteristics can be from your discipline to your consistency, and all those things are skills, right? They're developed over time. And you developing the fortitude to push through the days that you don't want to actually go to the gym, or the days that, you're too tired or you're overwhelmed with work or, with your tasks. You doing that workout anyways, it starts to develop your discipline skill. It starts to develop your fortitude, your grit. And those skills start to translate into other areas of your life. So when you start to make your fitness a lifestyle versus fitness just being a thing that you do to sweat and lose weight, it really becomes a lifestyle, and the characteristics and the skills that develop with it will start to make you better and develop you on a personal level as well as a professional level in your career, right? When that project is due last minute and you haven't had time to do it, or you're not in the mood to start working on a new project today, you put it off till tomorrow. That's those kind of skills that, you pushing yourself to go to the gym will start to translate over into those kind of areas of your life. And it's easy to keep your fitness going because, you're looking good, you're seeing the results. But what I want you to realize and what I want you to think about is these other little skills that are life skills that have developed you as a person in your health, a person, it's developed you in your relationships, it's developed you in your career. I want you to think about what skills have you developed since you started working out, or what skills do you need to develop, and do you try to focus on those things when you're working out, such as being committed and going in on X amount of days per week, right? No matter what, rain or shine, you're there for X amount of days, right? You're building that commitment. You're building that trust value in yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you can't trust yourself and keep your word to yourself, how are you going to keep your word to others? So you being trustworthy to yourself and honoring your word, and your word should be bond with whatever you tell someone else. Well, it should also be the same when you tell it to yourself. If you tell yourself and you're going to stick to 3 days a week or 5 days a week or 6 days a week, whatever the case is, when you tell yourself that, make sure you follow through with it, because that will start to build that trust factor in yourself. When you tell yourself subconsciously that you're going to get something done, you'll get it done. And you won't think twice of it because you've already told yourself, and your subconscious already knows that when you say something, you mean it. When you say you're going to wake up at 5, your body will get up at 5. You tell yourself, before you go to bed, you close your eyes and you think, man, I need to get up at, 5 a.m. tomorrow. Make sure I get up at 5. Don't hit that snooze. Your body will literally wake up right when that alarm goes off. You turn off the snooze and you get after your day. So I want you to really think about what skills have you developed, or what skills have become better in your life that have translated over from fitness into your relationships or work, or, building a business, whatever the case is, right? What skills have you developed? I want you to think about it for a sec. And when you think about it, yeah, you're looking better, you're feeling better, but mentally you've grown stronger. Mentally, you've grown, your brain is a muscle as well. And that's where we're going to kind of tie into your fitness and how it ties into mental health. There's so many stresses and there's so many things that go on in our day. And it's easy to let those things overwhelm us and let those things take over priority in the things that we know we need to get done, right? So when you work out and you're developing these discipline skills, and you're developing these commitment skills, you're also growing your mental strength as well, right? And working out in general, fitness in general, whether aerobic or anaerobic, lifting or cardio for bro science terms, both of them have a chemical response in your brain and in your body. When you're working out, these endorphins are released, and when these endorphins are released, it's also going to help reduce that hormone cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So when you're stressed out and you feel like you're so stressed and everything's going wrong, or there's too much on your plate that you don't have enough time to work out, I promise, go get that workout in, and it's going to feel like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders. You get to forget about what your stress is for minute 1. 2, your endorphins are released. It's a natural high. As Greg Plitt, my boy, RIP, once said, it's the best drug in the world, right? Endorphins, it's the best drug in the world. You don't got to shoot up for it. You don't got to snort it. You don't got to smoke it. All you got to do, sweat for it. So when those endorphins are released and your cortisol levels are being reduced and suppressed, you start to feel better. When you feel better and you feel less stressed, you start to produce better results and produce more productive actions throughout the day or the next day, or even, when you get home after work. Let's say you're stressed out, you go home, or before you go home, you work out. When you go home and you're trying to spend intentional time with your family, you're going to have a more meaningful connection during that time, because your brain has got to relieve some of that stress, versus you going home straight after a stressful day. You're exhausted, you're overwhelmed, you just don't want to really be talked to. Now, do you think that your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your kids, they want to get that? They've been looking forward to seeing you all day, right? You're the light of their day. You don't know what your presence means to someone, because it's not always said in a verbal sense. But also, if you're always showing up like that, and you're always showing up in a stressed tone or stressed body language, and that stress vibrates into the room, it also makes those other people get that radiant stress as well, and it's not fair to them, as well as it's not fair to yourself, because now the household is stressed. Now the household is not connected. So again, that turns into you not mentally feeling like your relationships or your family or your home life is stable, which then stresses you out more. And then, so it's a snowball effect. So make sure you're getting your workout in, and make sure when you're working out, or when you don't want to work out on a certain day and you're trying to convince yourself to skip it, that you'll do it tomorrow, realize it's not just about the fitness. Realize that it is about you developing the skills and the tools that you need to grow as a person, both physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You're developing all those skills. But also, nowadays we hear so much about mental health. Your fitness is so connected to your mental health that even if you don't feel like you need any change in your body, and you look like The Rock, or you look like a bikini model, or whatever the case is, realize that it's not just about the actual physical fitness. You also need to be doing it so that you stay mentally strong, because the world is too crazy for us to let outside stresses and outside influences have that control over our brain. You need to be at your optimal and your maximum efficiency levels so that you can think clear-headedly and you can have the best life possible. Now, as an added result, yeah, you're not only going to have the best life possible from a mental standpoint, but you're also going to look sexy, right? You're going to feel good. You know what they say, when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. You basically, you produce good work, or you have meaningful connections, whatever, the case pertains for you. So I want you to realize that on those days off, it's not just about you need a rest day and you're being lazy and whatever the case is. It's really about, do you think that it's worth taking that day off because you're overwhelmed and basically sacrificing the development of all those skills and the development of your mental health and your mental well-being just because you don't feel like it today? So today was just more of a little bit of a rant, and I wanted to kind of really connect fitness on a different level and a deeper level, because it's one of those things where I know in the gym, or at least for our gym at Strive 11, like we're always pushing and we're always motivating you to push harder. And it's because your body will go 10 times farther than your mind will let it. Your mind tells you to stop because it's painful. Fitness, working out, it's painful. Physically, mentally, emotionally, right? It's exhausting. But when you're pushing your limits and you're growing to new bounds, it's going to develop and bleed into the other areas of your life, which also grow with you. So when you're fitness and you become more fit, the other areas start to get those skills that you've developed in your fitness as well. So next time you think about taking a day off, I want you to think about that. I'm not saying that you don't need rest days, and I'm not saying that you need to work out 7 days a week. Remember, in the beginning of this, I was saying, if you tell yourself that you're going to work out 3 days, if you tell yourself you're going to work out 5 days, if you tell yourself you're going to work out 7 days this week, whatever the case is, make sure you follow through with that. You're building that trust factor in yourself. And is it optimal to work out 7 days a week? Not for everyone. Is it bad to work out 7 days a week? Not necessarily for everyone. But it also depends on, one, the individual or the person and your fitness level, as well as it depends on what kind of workouts you're doing. People tell you, oh, you need a rest day. It's not always the case in every situation. If a rest day is you sitting on the couch and doing nothing, then no, that's not what you should be doing at any day, right? Just sitting on the couch, eating the snowballs and ho-hos and whatever the hell they're called. But your rest day doesn't have to be that. It just means that you should take a rest day off that muscle if you're lifting more for a bodybuilding style and you have a more of a bodybuilding style muscle split where you're tearing down the chest, let's say, and tearing down the triceps and shoulders. Then the next day, don't tear those 3 muscles down again, right? When you're lifting super heavy and you're only getting 10 reps and you're really tearing down those muscle fibers, your body does need to recover. And that's why the next day, usually for bodybuilding splits, will be like a back day. And then it's followed by like a leg day and, whatever your splits are. But realize now your body has had 36 to, 48 hours of rest. It's ready to go again on that next chest day if you're hitting it again. So when you're resting, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to take a complete day off from everything. You could hit, our Strive 11 workout 7 days a week. We split up the muscle splits on purpose so that you could hit it 7 days a week and be fine. Now, am I saying that you should do it 7 days a week? No, not for everyone. But your rest day, you can come to Strive, let's say 6 days and be like, dang, I want to take a rest day. Your rest day, you can go on a hike with the family. A rest day, you can go ride the bikes. Rest day, you can go play catch or play soccer with your kids or your loved ones or whatever the case is for you. But your rest day just means that, you're not doing what you just previously did, or that you're not doing what you would traditionally do. But you should be active in some form or fashion every single day. Whether it's just going around the block for a walk, and go walk for an hour. Do something that is physical. And there honestly isn't really an excuse to why you can't get that in. A few episodes ago, I had one of my mentors, Trevor Cowley, on, and he even said when he goes on his trips, because he flies for business and he went on a vacation recently with his wife, he literally was, during the layovers and during the time at the airport, he was literally just walking back and forth. Instead of just sitting at the airport terminal chairs, he was just walking around. It's some form of exercise. So where there's a will, there's a way. When you want to grow as a person and you want to really focus on your personal development, when you want to focus on your mental health and you want to focus on your fitness, because they all tie together, where there's a will, there's a way. You don't necessarily need to go to the gym to work out. Netflix has Nike workouts I saw the other day on there. I don't know how good they are, but there is no excuse nowadays with YouTube and, all these other things that you could literally do a workout at home if needed. If you miss the gym and you still want to get a certain kind of workout, Google that shit. Do it. Get it done. Go on a walk. Go on a run outside. Hit the gym tomorrow. Whatever the case is. But that's enough said on that. I just want you guys to realize that fitness is more than just a physical aspect, and there is more than just looking good. There is so much more in the skills, tools, and repertoire that you'll have to develop yourself as an individual, both for you and for your family and for your career, that you got to make sure that you're actually putting in the effort and not giving yourself the easy way out always. But with all that said, thank you guys for tuning in. Love y'all. Talk to you guys on the next one.